crew and cast members here you might want to say hello to and thank you to?
This is them.
Okay.
But there is one sister here, Rory?
I'm here.
Rory DuVernay is one of our soundtrack artists.
Yay!
This is Rory. Yeah, the first song in the movie. The sister is amazing. She has like 2 songs on I Will Follow. If any of you like I Will Follow's music, she's amazing. She, people know her as a backup singer for Jill Scott and everybody else we love, but she is really, I think, blowing everybody out of the water. So, my favorite artist, and she always says yes when I ask her. She's like, girl, I'll hook you up with a song. So, thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Hope you liked it. It's the first time seeing it.
I love it.
Good.
So the film was just, I'm sure everyone has their own opinion, but I think it's amazing. I'm just floored by how you went into a prison to tell a story about freedom.
Yes. All right.
I think it's an amazingly nuanced and intricate and just the kind of stories we need. So I want to know, my first question is, Ava, where did this story come from?
Well, I have a husband in prison.
We thought so.
That's what everybody wants me to say. They want me to tell them about my man in prison. But no, I know of and have grown up around so many women who actually do have a loved one who's incarcerated. There's some women here tonight that were invited by affirmative participants who are kind of going through this. A number of organizations who have people in the house that we've been working with to kind of expose this film and share the film with them. And it's a serious thing. It's an epidemic within the black and brown communities. And something that we don't, at all portray cinematically. When we're talking about stories that have to deal with prison, it's always the incarcerated individual and never, kind of the depressive effect that it has on the fabric of the family and therefore the community. And so I was really interested in exploring that. And then I've been playing with this idea of kind of lost love and what we do when our anchor is removed. So I Will Follow is through death, and in this film it's through incarceration, and it's just something that, as a filmmaker I'm really interested in trying to figure out.
Emayatzy, you were an amazing treat to watch on screen. And I just want to know how you prepared for the role and how you kind of channeled this character.
My preparation really was just taking the experiences that I had, feeling separated, feeling lost from someone. And that's the one thing I like about this film is though it's about incarceration, you can relate that to anything, to a time in your life when you might have felt like you lost a love or lost a loved one or something. And so for me, that's really what I pulled from those emotions and those experiences and other people that have crossed my path that had those kinds of stories. I think that's the wonderful thing about being an actor is you take all of your experiences and the experiences of those that you know and form a character. So that's really what I did with the movie. Thank you.
We're going to keep this short because I know everyone has lots of questions. I have one last question. Well, it's going to be like a 3-part question. It's A, B, C, D. So Ava, you're a director, but to me, more than anything, you're a person who kind of builds movements and who inspires people through your films, through Affirm. Image Nation is proud to be one of the Affirm partners here in New York City. We've developed an art, and of course Urbanworld. And we've developed an art exhibit where you inspired 5 artists to do original works around your film. It's in Harlem. Come see it. And the film is being used by the Center for Media Justice to address issues of predatory phone calls in the prison. So there's so many inspirations and movements that are coming out of your work. Can you talk a little bit about Affirm, first of all? The film opens October 12th. And as Ava said, this film is going to make it in the theaters because you support it and because you tell people to go see it and because you tell them that you love it. And so can you tell us what inspired Affirm and what type of movement you'd like to see grow from there? And then also tell us about what you wanted people to take away from this film. It's a totally non-didactic story about humanity and love, but it's being used for advocacy.
Yes.
So just address those 2 questions, please.
Great. No, thank you. How many people here know what Affirm is? Does anyone? So yeah, Affirm is basically a farmer's market to Hollywood supermarket, right? We're the homegrown, hands of the earth, the mama who's cooking the greens. You get the metaphor, you know what I'm saying? It's a collaboration, a collaborative of arts advocates, black arts advocates around the country. In New York, it's Image Nation and Urbanworld. In Philly, it's an organization called Real Black. In Atlanta, it's Bronze Lens. In D.C., it's the Howard University grad students, the only black film school in the country. And so there are all of these, arts organizations that are coming together and saying we don't have to wait for a studio to distribute films that we care about, that we love, that we're nourished by. We will do that. And so we all get together 2 times a year and we pool our resources and we have calls every week and exhaustive planning strategy, and no one gets paid, and we benefit only through kind of our love of sharing these stories with you. And so we are the studio. The relief
movement. It's okay. Seeing the movement grow.
Oh yeah. We're institution building, and all of us are in it for that reason. And so, Middle of Nowhere is our 4th film. The first one was I Will Follow. The second one was a film called Kinyarwanda. The third one was a film called Restless City, which Bradford also shot. And then the 4th one is Middle of Nowhere. And our goal is to kind of, really share and present and offer exemplary black independent films to anyone that wants to see them. And so that's what we do with the firm. And what else?
Well, I mean, this film is being used for advocacy. So
Yeah.
I want to know what your vision was for this film, and even with I Will Follow, it became a film about breast cancer awareness and other issues. So is that part of your vision? 'Cause to me, you're constantly building movements around your art.
No, but those I guess come out of after the film is made, looking at and seeing who can we share it with that may have interest in it. How can the film help in whatever nook and cranny it can help. But that doesn't come in the creative process in my mind so much. It comes when I get on the phone with you and you're like, we're going to use this, or I'll be like, okay, Conti, whatever you say, we'll do it whatever you say. So the creative process is really separate from the marketing distribution process in my head. But I love the fact that people kind of take the film and run with it. I love the fact that we have firm mavericks all over the country who are doing tweet chats and meetups and doing art and exhibits, and there's so many people kind of creating, work and moving energy around these films, not just mine, but Andrew's film, Restless City, and Alric's film, Kinyarwanda, and the films that we'll be releasing in the future. So there's really a movement going on. I mean, it's certainly not just me, and it's certainly not just even the firm filmmakers. I mean, Terrence Nance is here with an amazing film. Jen Storch, Good Day, Go Black and Sexy, he's about to make a feature. Barry Jenkins, Medicine for Melancholy. Dee Reese, Mariah, Tina Mabry, Mississippi Dan. I mean, the thing goes, Soul Food Junkies, Byron, Yaki is here with Wolf, Matthew Cherry with The Last Fall. I mean, we're coming for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're rolling deep. Like, there's a couple dozen people that are not playing games. Like, we're trying to make films. It's grown up business. And we're not necessarily looking for authentication and validation from kind of dominant culture.
Yes.
So but we can only do that for as long as people gather around it. So Brad and I talk about this a lot. It's really a matter of, we can't just make the films in isolation. Like, the film doesn't become a film until it's shared and the audience meets us halfway. And that's really what the struggle is right now, is will you come? Like, will you come on these opening weekends so that we can continue to do it? And that's what Affirm's mission is.
And also, will you participate? Affirm.com has a portal where you can become a volunteer. You can help spread the word. You can bring other people to see the film. So, will you participate is really the question. So, did you all love the film?
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn it into a recruiting meeting.
I am sure.
That's the revival of this.
I am. So if you want to see this film do extremely well on October 12th, please make sure that you participate. Please take a postcard. We have postcards. Give it to a friend. Log on to affirm.com and join the movement there. Contact Image Nation. Contact Urbanworld. But please, please, please become involved.
Yeah, if you can't do any of that, just tweet and Facebook and tell somebody.
Or buy him a ticket.
Yeah, right. So we take questions, and I just want to point out, Paul Garnes is one of the few black men working in the black independent cinema space who can kind of, talk about anything to do with production. I mean, he's amazing. Like, he actually, well, I won't tell him what you did, but you've done a lot of things. I'll go off. And then Bradford, I mean, the Urban World reel that they showed, like, all of it's basically shot by Bradford. It was like the Bradford Fest. Like, I turned to Gabrielle, it's like, you recognize that. You're like, oh, those are all my movies. Pariah, Restless City, like, he's a phenom. He knows it too. He's sitting there like a G. So if you have any questions for them or questions about acting or anything, please feel free to press the button.
Right. Question, I suppose for Garland, for you, Ava. Can you talk a little bit about the type of roles that you write for Black women and how you think about that in terms of the complexity, and what you force them to do in these films? It seems really unusual and a nice surprise for me to see that type of work.
Thank you. He's asking about writing films for Black women. He said it in a much more eloquent way, but that was the short version, the log line. Right, right. Well, I'll also share that question with Emayatzy, but I will just say that a lot of filmmakers define themselves in different ways. I know African American filmmakers who don't want to be defined as Black filmmakers. They want to be defined as a filmmaker first.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. For me, I'm a Black woman filmmaker. I am a Black woman filmmaker. I make films for and about Black women, and anyone else who's interested in seeing it, we would like you to come on. But really, this is a conversation that I feel like I'm having with my sisters and my community, and so that really dictates what the stories are. And you said what I forced them to do in the movie, little much. But what did I force you to do in the film? But no, you talked a little bit just about the rarity of having a role that has a Black woman in the lead, basically in every frame of the film.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and just a woman, a character that's so complete, that goes through a journey. She's not stereotypical,
Right.
She's like women that I know in my real life. And so that was the thing that really excited me about reading the script, and that she was the lead character. But all of the women in the film were complete women that had stories, that had a journey, and that doesn't happen often. And that is really what made me all the more excited and blessed and grateful that Ava decided to give me that shot, because that also doesn't happen often. So thank you.
Thank you, Julie. He said it was a great film. That's the back. Yes, and what else, sir?
It was a great film. I loved it. Also, I know you just doing a lot of struggling with your community, and I know so that I think that's like what inspired you to make such a film. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's asking about the relationship with the mother and the daughter, and being a daughter and having a mother. It's complicated when you become an adult woman and you are trying to have a relationship with another adult woman who happened to raise you. It's complex, and Black mamas are special kind of mamas. So how you gonna do a film and not talk about the Black mamas? I got some Black mamas clapping in the corner, y'all know. So yeah, no, I mean, just really wanted to integrate this family of women. It's really a family of women, and this young man, this boy, that they are raising together. And really, Brad and I and Paul really talked a lot about integrating just the little looks, like at they're talking, like he's listening to all that, he's hearing all that, and this is what we do. I mean, we're largely a community of women raising men. And so was commenting on that just very subtly within the fabric of the whole narrative. So thanks for picking up on it.
Do you have a question?
Yes. This question is for Bradford Young.
Hey, a
Yes.
question for Bradford.
Yes. If there was ever a star in this movie, it is your use of the close-up.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Yes. It certainly did facilitate your production of intimacy on a number of levels. Could you talk about that, the use of that film form? It's just there. It's beautiful. I'm not tired of it. The actors carry it very well. So could you talk a little bit about your cinematography for this film?
Well, in terms of the close-up, I mean, look, it's not that hard. It's really beautiful, amazing.
Yes, it is.
Folks
Yes.
in the film. But you know, I think close-ups are. I think we forget that the human body is like a landscape. So for me, I'm sort of like, I talked about it a lot. I think we look backwards a lot. A lot of us. I think it's a common notion maybe that we start films very wide, so pushing closer. I think in this film we wanted to be a little more intimate, so we started a little bit closer and then pulled out. So I think the close-up was just a way of us just really stretching that idea of intimacy, and also trying to connect this idea again of geographical landscapes, sort of like bodies in space sort of landscapes. Yeah, I mean, and that's just, I kind of feel like that's also, I talk about this a lot as well, that's just kind of where I feel like I start a lot of times. It's just easy for me to start on a close-up and then sort of work out. Because you can get a lot of mileage out of a close-up before you start pulling up and everything. So it just became part of a really, I think that's one of the great achievements of our collaboration is this well thought out sort of thing that we forged in pre-production. We were always talking about just being very intimate and being very, very close. And this film, in terms of Ava and our collaboration, it was Ava pushes. She definitely pushes you to sort of get out of your comfort zone and do things that you haven't done before. For me, this was definitely a journey into a way of shooting that I haven't really explored within myself. So back to the close-up. That's also just sort of a default notion. Okay, well, at least I know with the close-up.
Okay.
She'll like it.
Okay. Well done. Well done.
Great. Hey, I just want to ask you, I don't have much time for that, but the film talks a lot, both of them actually, I feel like not the cinematographer, film of the relationship.
Yes.
How good the relationship was together. I followed it all the way. I was followed the boyfriend who came back and did some other things to look like him. I don't know if you touched on it, but you talk about the complexities of relationship.
Yes. Yes.
What do you think that relationship is like?
Yeah. Well, I just love those kinds of films. I mean, and we just don't see them enough with black and brown bodies.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
I
Yes.
love white people films about complex relationships. Like, I'll be up in The Descendants all day, or whatever. And I just want to see those with us. And so those are what I'm interested in making. You know what I mean? I mean, we are, obviously, it's a given. It's complex and nuanced and multifaceted and, messed up and amazing as everyone else. And so, I love those films that kind of just deal with relationships. I mean, Nothing But a Man, Claudine,
Yay.
whatever. The
Yay.
adult drama with grown folks being grown folks. And
Right.
it's not a historical piece.
Right.
It's in the current day. It's not a comedy. You know what I mean? It's like now and it's contemporary and so yeah, I mean that's what we're interested in. And even though Brad wants to do, what's the film you want to do? About a black cow? It's good. It's fantastic, but it's like he's from Kentucky. He's a country boy. He wants to do a period piece, but he's gonna have to do some more present day pieces first. Then he can go back and put dust on the lens and do all the stuff he wants to do. But yeah, no. I mean, I think as of now we're super interested in just exploring the now. And there just aren't enough films that are dealing with now in a dramatic way when it comes to black and brown people. I don't feel. So yeah, thank you for the question.
Young lady in the white.
It was an awesome film. I had an excellent time watching it. One of my favorite things was the wave crashing.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Yes. It was pretty.
it just tripped my brain, but I was like, right in there, like, oh my God. I wanted to ask about a movie about your drawing, right?
Yes, the
Can you
drawing.
just talk about that drawing?
No, we black people when you watch a movie. You know what I mean? These are the conversations we should be having. You know what I mean? I don't care about who's casting in some lady's film and petitions about, who's being cast in a film. let's analyze D. Reese's Correa shot for shot and talk about the art on the wall and what it means. That's dope. Thank you for that question. I'm sure I will not get that question at any other point. It is a local artist from Leimert Park. It's a piece that I picked up in Leimert Park, and it's a sketch line drawing of a mother and child. And we put it on the door. It was representative of what Ruby can't have because her man is not with her. And so, so she walks past this, and it's just a little subliminal thing that you caught, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Before we move on, I actually want to ask a question to our producer on the panel. I want to know, besides the fact that Ava was bringing this project and she has a stellar reputation, what about middle of nowhere made you decide to produce it, and what do you look for when you're choosing a project?
Can I just also ask that? What made you leave your very high-paying gigs? He produces The Game. He produces the new Being Mary Jane that's going to be on. He's like an extraordinary. What made you leave? Fly yourself to LA. Put yourself up because I could not find a place for you. Drove your car and just feed yourself and like not make money. His wife is right here. She's like, I don't know, honey, why I did all that.
What made you do it again?
Why did you do all that?
Ava obviously is a very passionate, articulate filmmaker who sells a very compelling story. But she actually showed this script to me, now it must be 7 years ago. At the time, I knew her as a publicist, not as a director. And we were all thinking she was a little loose in the head because she was saying that she was going to give up her high-paying job as a publicist and follow the dream of being a director. So of course, years later, when she came back and said, hey, I'm about to produce Middle of Nowhere, and I'm looking for a good producer. What were you supposed to say to that? I'm like, okay, I'm right here. I'll come do it. And she was, I don't know if she was pretending to be surprised or if she was really surprised. I don't know.
I called him and said, Paul, you're obviously, you know everyone. Do you know, like, someone who come and work for no money or who lives in LA who can help me with this? Because, obviously you. And, yeah, I don't even think I framed it that way. I honestly was calling you asking you for help, advice, a referral. And he said, I think I'll do it. He talked with Tammy, his wife, and literally left Atlanta, drove to Los Angeles, stayed on someone's couch. I mean, the man is a successful man. He can't be sleeping on couches, but he did. And single-handedly produced this. I mean, the whole film was made for $200,000. So we worked miracles.
Way in the back.
Emayatzy, how are you now? You answer.
Just through an audition. It was just one of the ones where someone finally said yes after the 20 years.
Hey, I know you on Twitter.
That's good. That's a good thing. My name's Rachel. So I actually got a chance to go to Sundance Film Festival this year, and I didn't get a chance to see it. So I'm glad that I finally got to see it. But I did get a chance to celebrate with you winning the award, and I want to say congratulations to you being the first African American.
Thank you.
I know it takes years of relationships, and I'm glad that you guys just touched on relationships and, of course, you've known for years. I want to say, how has your award, has it changed the perception that others have of you in the film realm, especially coming from being a publicist and now doing your own films? Has that award at all changed you? Has it opened up other doors for you, or is it still the relationships that you still focus on?
Thank you for the question. She's asking about an award we got at Sundance.
She won Best Director. She's the first Black woman to ever win it.
And she's asking,
Good story.
she's asking asking if that made any difference in things. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Bradford also won a major award at Sundance the year before, Excellence in Cinematography for Pariah in 2011. And it's it changes things and then it doesn't. I mean, I was just reading. I don't know if you agree. You should speak to it as well. But I was reading an article with Octavia Spencer, who won the Academy Award, and she was like, "Yeah, still don't have jobs." You know what I mean? Like everything that's coming out are things that she did before she actually won. And I identify with that in a way because, I certainly think that for, some of my white male counterparts who won that award in previous years, they might have had different experiences around the award than I did, I'll say that. Certainly there were no studio meetings. There were no one was beating down my door to say, please direct my thing. But, we didn't go into Sundance with that demeanor. We really try to work from a permissionless place. We give ourselves permission and not asking you can I make this film? You know what I mean? So in that, it didn't really push me out of shape too much. I mean, it was expected. I don't think we expected anything other than I didn't expect to have anything like that. So to leave with that was a nice cherry on top. But some cool things have come up from it, like ESPN Films. I'm making a film right now about Venus Williams, about her fight for fair pay at Wimbledon, which I'm really excited about. I think that came a little easier because of the award. Certainly we, are getting kind of more robust attention from the press. I think the best thing about the award for me was people seemed proud. Black people seemed proud, and that is what I remember out of that whole whirlwind. It was like, Ebony and Essence and the Facebooks and the tweets from fam, you know what I mean, from black people. And it was really nice, that's what I remember from it. But basically it came and went. And, Brad went through with the same experience. So I don't know, how was it for you when you
Struggle continues.
All right.
touche, my brother. Right here.
How you doing? My name is Paul Garnes, and you know what? I was here for I Will Follow. I remember I saw that, and that was amazing. You're just getting better and better every year. I gotta give you your props. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give everybody their props. I don't have a quick question. I just must give you the props. Urban World, Stacy, the whole team. You guys are amazing, and I see that you're so loyal. You were here with I Will Follow. You just keep coming back and showing stuff. You get better and better respect. You see the cinematography, the excellent, the production, the acting. Oh my God!
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, she is the best. She's so cute. She's so pretty. Her hair.
Yeah, her hair. She got her hair did.
Give everyone their props.
You don't get that at Sundance.
Sure don't. Oh, wait a minute. Is she? Where? Oh my gosh. You're not slick. Aisha Coley, the casting director, is trying to sit there in the cut. I didn't even know you were here. You there? She's right there. Emayatzy, like, Aisha's here. Aisha, can you stand up? This is a black woman casting director. The cast, everything you love. She is cast. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
We have a brother, and then we're gonna get to Simulation.
While we get his question, it was Aisha who said, I have this woman on tape that you should see. And had her on tape first, and I watched her on tape, and then we brought her in. But it's Aisha who has to go through the negotiations and me saying, no, I don't like that person, and I love that person. Can you get him for me? No. I can use this person. I don't like that person. Can I see this person? No, you can't see that person. But look at this person. I mean, it's just a big negotiation. It's a big, I don't know, just the casting director process and the relationship is the beginning of everything. Before I talk to Brad, before I talk to Brad, before I talk to Paul or anything, it's about who are the bodies that are going to inhabit the characters. And so, anyway, negotiation might not be the word, even though you're a good negotiator. But I'm so glad you're here. I wish you'd be sitting up here, but I know you're shy.
This is a question for Aisha, kind of, and maybe for you. Well, we were noting how much the family looked alike. Did you
Yes,
start with
very
Emayatzy?
well. Yes.
How did you cast the family?
Yeah, Aisha, how'd you cast it?
Well, no, it was kind of unusual. Ava, you remember the story actually, because we started with David. David was the one that we got lucky, and he was the first one cast, and then Emayatzy was after that, and then we kind of picked the best, I think, actors of the ones that we saw, and I think there was a mindfulness about blending them as a family, but I think it just kind of worked out. So, you know, Emayatzy was someone I had seen from, I think it was a Black Film Festival. You submitted yourself, so I kind of knew her from that, and anyway, one thing led to the other, so we just kind of put together some actors that we really loved, and luckily they did look like they were a part of a strong team.
Thank you very much.
Word. That's true.
I love how black women write roles with black men. They only really women. I've never really seen too many black brothers or white people like capture the vulnerability of
Yeah,
black
say
men. Like
that.
what's his name?
Omari Hunter.
He was so vulnerable. He went
Yeah.
alone. He was like, you know, what are you gonna do? Making a decision. That's usually the position that you see the woman in on TV or film, black women anyway. And to see a brother in that position, you just don't see that often. And usually only black women capture that. So, you know, big ups to that. Big ups.
Thank you, brother. That's a good question. That's a good comment. Thank you, thank you. Omari was in our film I Will Follow. And I Will Follow, he was sensitive, you know.
And he does
He
it
won't let
further.
a brother into the house. I could, you know, did everything to you. And so in this one, he was like, I want to be the harder guy. And I was like, okay, you can be the hard guy. And after he did the role, he was like, I'm still a softie. I was like, I love brothers, so you're never going to be a bad guy in my film. He was like, so anyway, thank you.
Our last question, Sister Malika.
Yeah, he said that. Yes, it's very pretty, very nice.
Yes, this sister's name is Robert Valverde. And yes, we were gonna have an iTunes soundtrack. We're indie, we can't afford no actual CDs. But yeah, we'll have an iTunes soundtrack that'll be coming out on the week that the film opens, and we're also gonna be giving a freebie pack of 4 songs from the film if you tweet your ticket stub. So if you tweet your ticket stub with a specific hashtag, you'll get sent the 4 MP3s with my favorite songs from the film. So, and those are being donated by the artists, most of which are black independent artists that have given their songs.
Guapale's on there, right? Who else is on there?
Guapale, Rare, Michelle, and then some real cool soul groups from other places. Spink from the UK, closing song, Lil Dragon. It's a great soundtrack based on myself. We have a black woman music supervisor, Morgan Rose, out of Los Angeles. She's great.
So can we give Ava DuVernay